What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. This is the Pattern Disruption Podcast. This is the show where we break through the noise and we dive into the stories of those who shaken up the game. I'm your host, Eric Rhymes, and today I'm sitting down with Arnita, a woman whose story and creativity will shift the way you think about possibility. She's bold. She's a bold voice, a creator, and someone who moves differently. And let's get into her journey. Welcome to the show. I appreciate y'all being here. If you haven't, tap that like, that subscribe button, and let's get into this, y'all. Give a warm Pattern Disruption welcome to Arnita. What's up, sis? What's up, cuz?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. So welcome to the show. I
Thank you
appreciate
for
you
having
being
me.
here. You've been on here once before. You just didn't have your moment. So
Yeah.
we're gonna get into that for sure. So your early childhood, your influences, I want to get into that, and then we can kind of talk about what you do. So what was your childhood like growing up legally blind?
I was not legally blind as a child.
You weren't. Okay.
No. I lost my vision about a little over 4 years ago.
Okay.
So I had a normal childhood. Like I didn't start wearing glasses until I was 14. So like I could see pretty good when I was younger, but at I'm not gonna say the age, but in 2021 is when I first started noticing changes in my vision. And I told my mom about it. Well, when I was telling other people about it, they just thought that I needed to get a new prescription. I'm like, this is different. So I told my mom that I was going to go to the eye doctor, and she was like, you need to see an ophthalmologist, not an optometrist. So I did just that, and then they sent me to a low vision specialist. They did all type of CAT scans and stuff like that. Then she told me like she wanted me to take all these different vitamins, and she's like, I think you might be legally blind, but let's just give it some more time and then come back and see me. And if anything hasn't changed, then we're just gonna diagnose you. So October 2021 is when I got my official diagnosis.
October 2021. So what's the difference in legally blind? So obviously, is your vision blurry looking forward, or is it just like you can't see? Because I never could notice, I see you all the time, and I never noticed you never carried a stick or anything like that, and you walk by
I
yourself.
did used to carry a white cane, but I for me, I felt like it made me a target. I'm a woman. I'm not that big. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I just didn't want people, because that's like the universal sign that hey, I can't see.
Right.
So I just didn't want that attention to
Yeah.
me or whatever. Um for a while I did carry it into places, like if it was my first time visiting. I don't really know like the layout or whatever, because I was at my sister's house one time, in a house that I had been plenty of times, and I tripped over a stair and almost hurt myself. So I'm just like, I'm gonna carry the cane.
Right.
But I stopped recently, because I just don't. I'm not gonna say I feel awkward when I'm carrying it, because it does help me to be able to feel any cracks or dips or anything like that. But again, I just don't. I feel like I'm a target. So,
Okay.
um,
Well, I understand that. I
yeah.
understand that.
But my vision is blurry. I Once you're further than about 3 feet, then that's when everything starts to get blurry. So, like, let's just say if we're out, like, whenever I go out with my mom or my friend and we kind of like part ways, um, I study their walk and what they have on, so that because I can see like the silhouette, but I can't see like the details in their face or, things like that. So I have to study the walk, because everybody has their
Yeah.
own walk.
Right.
So study,
Right.
and then I know, oh, okay, that's her coming up. Or I just call, like, hey, where you at?
Right.
But
Right.
my glasses helps me to see bigger things better. I cannot read with my glasses on or off. I need a magnifier to be able to read any like paperwork or just my mail, anything like that. So it be a lot sometimes. Sometimes I just rather have somebody read it for me.
Right. Right. Okay. And so that's a major shift in the way you move socially. So
Especially going like 30 something years
yeah.
with
Yeah.
vision. Yeah.
So I was under the impression that, yeah, okay. So that changes it a lot then, you know what I mean? But that's good. But at the same time, you got used to being able to see. And going through this, how has it changed how's it changed your purpose as far as, because you do art, we're gonna get to,
Right.
but as far as why you got into doing the art?
Okay, so the Christmas right after my diagnosis, like I realized that I was going to have to do things differently. Like when I started losing my vision, I never was like, "Oh, whoa me." No, it's just like,
Right,
okay, what can I do to be able to make life a little bit easier for me? So a friend showed me how I can make things bigger on my phone, and what else did he show me? I can't remember, but making things bigger on my phone actually helped a lot. iPhone is like the best phone to have for people with a visual impairment. Um, so I was just trying to like I had to redefine who I was because a lot of the things that I was doing, I couldn't do anymore.
right,
Um, and then I actually had to teach myself on how to do certain things as a blind woman. I did go to a training center. I wasn't there for as long as I needed to be, but I was there for a couple of weeks and I learned a little bit. But that Christmas, after I got my diagnosis, I was living with my sister, with my twin, and me and her decided to do Secret Santa. So we put our names and our two kids' names in the pot
mm,
and we all pulled. And it just so happened that me and my kids literally pulled her and her kids. So
wow,
my nephew was the one that pulled me. And they were talking and he just didn't know what to get me. And she was like, "What about a resin kit?" And he did. And when I opened it, like I was so intimidated. I would watch all these videos and I'm like, that looked like something I can't do. And when I got that kit, I opened it and I mixed it and I saw it like it's easy, but it's not. So I saw like the first thing that I made and it was cool. And I just like took off with it. So this is me, what, almost 4 years later, still doing it. So my purpose is basically to let people know that blind people are still able. Like a lot of people's like, how are you able to cook? How are you able to do hair? That's all muscle memory. It's not like I lost my vision and then forgot how to do everything that I've known how to do for 30 years.
right, right. But that's what I was going to ask you, because you just said we watch videos. So you know what I'm saying? You say you watch videos on Resin. So you can, obviously you can see the video, but is it a way that you have to look at it, or is it because you don't have to use braille or any of that? It's not to
No.
that. Okay.
I anything that I watch it on my phone. I don't watch like a big TV. Even if I go to the movies, like people think that because the screen is so big that I can see it. No, it's still blurry, even with my glasses on. Because it's far away. My phone I have right like in my face and I
Right.
can see it a little bit better. So like I said, it's almost like everything that's about 3 feet away from me is blurry.
Okay. Okay.
Even
Okay.
you right now, because of the distance that I am away from my phone, you're blurry.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that has to be like not only uncomfortable, but it's one of those things where you can't really just, but you seem like no one can tell by looking at you, and
Yeah.
even the way you move. So that's definitely good. So you know, you've adapted to it pretty well.
Because
Um,
like I couldn't just lay down and just be depressed. Like I have children that depend on me. So I decided to just get up and learn how to do things.
right. No, I understand that. And a lot of
Yeah.
times a lot of times you think, how do you even, could you even live like that? I'm sure there was a process and a time that you had to, you know, just you had to go through a period where, you know, you woe is me, like you say, but you didn't want to stay in that. So that's good. That's good. And that's what I wanted to ask you. I guess my next question. Um, so you do resin art. Tell the people what resin is and the whole process of creating art out of resin.
Resin starts off as two parts, one part resin and one part hardener. You mix them together and it has like a I don't really know the technical word for it, but once you mix it together, it starts to harden. It hardens in about 24 hours, depending on what type of resin you use. I normally stick to the one that's equal parts. So for 1 ounce of resin, you use 1 ounce of hardener,
Mhm.
mix it for 6 minutes, and then it turns hard. Can you hear that?
Okay, so
So
that's resin right there.
that is resin here. This is a coaster that I made.
Oh, okay. You know, that kind of resembles what's the texture they put on the floors, the bowling ball texture. I can't
Like
think of,
marbling almost. Is that
like,
what
it's
you're talking
like
about?
marble, but it's another name for it. They put it on basement floors now to
I
make
don't
it
know.
look like that bowling ball look. Okay,
Mhm,
okay. Well, yeah,
mhm,
and as far as the colors, so you put those colors in there as well, and
mhm.
how do you make the colors flip like that?
So, these what I did first with this is I poured some resin in the mold, and then I put a piece of plastic down and I crumpled it so that it got this kind of like design in there.
Oh, okay,
And then I took the different color mica powders and brushed it on top of the cured resin, and then poured black on top of it. When you cover the mica powders with black, the colors show up more vibrant.
okay.
So it's different ways. So like this one right here. Well, I'm gonna show you these four. Can you see this good?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, this is a set of coasters also. So I did this one a little bit different. I put a little bit of clear down, and then I dropped in some alcohol inks, and I let that sit for about 30 minutes, and then I took some um white colored resin, and then
Mhm.
I just swirled it around in the resin, and I took a stick and just made these designs, and it turned into these.
Okay, and how do you get this much detail without being able to see?
I tend to work on bigger items, and I be looking like I be
Okay,
in
you
there.
close to it.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, because
got to.
it's a lot of detail in that. At
Well,
least it looks like it. Or is that
this
more? Or is that more just as it
as it
relaxing?
cures because it pulls to the
Pure,
center,
yeah.
so it's gonna pull kind of like all those colors, and it's gonna do what it do.
Oh, okay. It's
Resin
gonna
has
be
a mind of its own sometimes.
right, right. And is it a like a strong smell to it?
No,
Okay, it's no strong smell to it.
no.
Eh,
But I encourage anybody who uses resin to wear a respirator and their gloves. You gotta wear your proper PPE.
okay,
I
okay.
hate doing it, but I do it.
And so proper ventilation. Okay.
Mhm.
And do you have like did you do this out of your home or is it office space or what is it?
I do it out of my home. My goal is to have an office space where I can work on resin and sell it out of the same place.
Okay, okay.
So like a studio, so to speak.
And what would be a company that does resin that we may know? Like, is there any like popular
Yes.
brands that use resin that we would know of?
Can you explain that a little bit differently?
So, do they make tables out of resin or is
Yes, you can make river tables, you can make benches, clocks, um, coasters. I'm trying to think of what else as far as like big stuff. Stone coat, you ever heard of stone coat epoxy? They do a lot.
that's what the name of the floors are. It's epoxy
Oh
floor.
yeah.
Yeah,
Epoxy
yeah.
and resin is the same thing.
Okay, that's what I thought because they look just alike.
Yeah.
But now epoxy has a real strong smell to it.
I think it depends on which brand you get because I use Nick Pro or J Diction
Okay,
and they don't smell.
they don't smell.
No.
Okay, okay. And those earrings are those resin?
These are. I made these earrings and this necklace. I be
Oh,
rocking my own jewelry like out in public and everything.
yeah. And how long do they last? What's like the shelf life?
They should last forever so long as you take care of them.
Yeah, yeah. And as far as cleaning them, what you do you use a certain
Well, for
solution?
the coasters or like I make bowls too. For the coasters, you could just wash them with soap and water. Don't soak them. Don't put them in the dishwasher, but wash them and dry them with warm soapy water, and you're good to go.
Okay, okay. So what's the biggest misconception that people have about blind people
That they're incapable.
that they're incapable? Okay, okay.
It's
Yeah,
not true.
right. And legally blind is different from blind.
Yes. Okay. So blind being blind is like it's an umbrella. Like blind is the umbrella, and then there's like different subcategories of blind and different reasons why people lost their vision. You have some people who vision is kind of like seeing out of the tip of an ink pen. You have some people whose vision is kind of like spotty. You have some people who don't have any peripheral vision or only have peripheral vision. You have some people who see nothing at all, and you see some people who have like light perception. Um, but of the blind community, I think it's somewhere between 12 and 15 or 12 and 18% of people that are totally blind.
Okay.
So a lot of people think because I don't necessarily say, oh, I'm legally blind. I just say I'm blind. And they automatically go straight to, oh, she can't see nothing. But it's like, I got my glasses on.
Right. Yeah,
So
yeah.
If I was totally blind, I would say, "Oh no, I'm totally blind." But yeah.
So are you a part of any groups or anything like support groups or anything like that, or it's not to that degree?
Well, no. When I went to the training center, I did meet some cool people. At first, I was resisting it.
Yeah.
I was there to learn. Okay, it was like school for me. I was not there to make friends, but they um they insisted. So one of them, my friend, I talk to almost every day. And then I have another friend who lives out in Kalamazoo. That's where the training center was, in Kalamazoo. Um, there's a couple of them that still live out there, and I speak to them every once in a while. But I make sure to keep at least one person in my circle that is blind, so that I have somebody who really understands what it's like, the struggle, the day to day life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How do your kids? How do they help with your with being blind? How do they like help you with certain stuff? Read
My
things?
kids are teenagers.
Okay, so yeah, they're
Yeah.
doing their own thing.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Okay, now let's talk about the name. I try. I didn't want to butcher the name.
Amaurotic Artistries, which means the blind artist. And I'm not totally sold on that name. Like I'm thinking that I want to change it. And that's the reason why I haven't created a website or anything like that. Because I just feel like a lot of people are gonna have a hard time saying that.
Yeah, I didn't say it because I didn't want. Yeah,
Yeah.
arm
Amaurotic.
armoritic. Okay, okay, and and pronounce it. I mean, reading it Amaurotic. Okay, okay, and you say that means
The blind artist, basically.
the blind.
Amaurotic means blind.
Okay, okay, and that's like a universal term that for blind people.
Well, we just say low vision or legally, well, yeah, blind persons is what they really say.
Right. Okay. And when we started, you talked about ophthalmologist and a
Optometrist.
optometrist. What's the difference?
Okay, so optometrist is like when you go to get your yearly eye exam,
Okay.
and they like, okay, here's your prescription. These are the glasses that you wear, or whatever, or your eyes are fine. The ophthalmologist, they look inside the eyes, behind the eyes. They look at the nerves. They look at the tissue. They look at everything. The optometrist does not do that.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So when did you decide to step out on faith and make this a business versus just personal use?
Um, I want to say it probably was about the beginning of this year.
Okay.
Because it's like I don't really have anything else to do, and I really love working on resin. So I want to go for it. I'm going to go for it. I just need to work out a few more things before I can actually take the next step.
Okay. And then you s- so let me ask you this. What piece of art are you most proud of and why?
Um, this one right here. Oh, it's a glare. Okay, this one right here. Right. This is part of my
Hang on.
grandmother's funeral flowers.
You're getting a bad connection.
I don't know why.
Let me see.
Can you hear me good?
I can hear you, but it's breaking up a little bit. Let me see. Hang on one second. Yeah, it's kind of like some feedback, but I think we may be good. Let me know in the comments, y'all, if it's hard to hear
You
her.
you sound staticky.
Yeah, we both do. That's what I'm saying. So right now it sounds better now. Say something. No, I
I'm
still
still here.
breaking. Yeah, we have a little feedback. Let me see. Yeah, you might go out and come back in real quick.
Okay.
Sorry about that, y'all. We're gonna have to just that feedback. A lot of times when I try to edit this stuff, it's crazy. So I want to make sure we don't go a full show, and it's hard for me to edit it and put it out. But what's up, y'all? Appreciate y'all being here. We got a couple people in the house. Okay, she's back. Nope, it's still there.
Yeah, I hear it.
It's even worse now. Are you still on your Wi-Fi still good?
I can't understand what you're saying.
Hang on. Yep, she's getting major feedback from her side. I'm gonna need her to come back in. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, but I still hear it when you talk.
Yeah, can you go out and come back in one more time? Man, those technical difficulties, y'all. But guess what? We're gonna keep going and make it work. No, she still can't hear me.
It still sounds the same.
Yes, it actually got worse. Um, did you go out of the app or you just
I refreshed
removed?
my screen.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was say. Shut the app down and come back in real quick.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, let's see, y'all. All right, y'all. We coming right back in, y'all. Appreciate y'all having patience.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, that sounds better.
That's better. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what we talking about?
The piece that I'm most proud of.
Yep. That's
Okay. So, a few years ago, I had made my grandmother like this really small heart. It's probably about this big, and it had a sunflower in it because her favorite flower was sunflowers. So, when she passed away, like a few people came and they brought me flowers and were asking me to make them a piece with resin. And then my second sister brought me over a wreath, and it had a whole lot of flowers on it. So I was able to make more people pieces. So I made one for my mom, three of my sisters, two of my nieces, and then like my aunts and cousins and stuff like that. But this one is I call that whole collection Granny's Garden. So this is something that I would have definitely shown to her. Look at how it's heavy. It's
wow.
heavy. So I got the idea that maybe that should be what I focus more on is preserving uh, flowers from different events, like maybe weddings or funerals, because a lot of people don't even know that flower preservation is a thing. So I dried all the flowers out myself for at least 30 days. And then I worked on them while I was like getting my kids off to school. I would work on some resin and then go and help my mom because she had just had surgery. And then I'd come back and finish it. So um it took a while for me to make all of these pieces. I made magnets, pyramids, arches. I mean, so many different things with those flowers just from Granny's garden.
Put that back up real quick. Okay, so yeah, now that is really nice.
Thank
That's
you.
really nice. Turn it to the side, like it's like in yeah. And like you say, you can preserve that.
Hmm.
That's really nice. That's really
And
nice.
so this will last forever.
Right. And what was something like that cost retail?
I know some people like when I look on Etsy, some people are charging like $300-400. I'm not charging that. I charge $85.
Okay.
$85. Yeah.
And you said you dried the flowers out. Is this something that you would have the customer do? And
No,
then
I will have the customer get the flowers to me as soon as possible. They, whether they have to ship it or I don't really want everybody to know where I live, so they will have to ship it. I'm gonna get a PO box, but ship it to me and I dry them out.
okay, and you dry them out.
Hmm. I mean,
Okay.
they could, like, if they did the research. I know some people say that they put the flowers in between books and do that for 30
Yeah,
days, but I heard that they can rot. Some people hang flowers upside down and let them dry out like that, or some people just leave them in a vase and let them dry out. But it's like the sooner I can get the flowers, the better, because if they start rotting when I dry them out, they're going to look like however much rot it was. And if
right.
they're not, if the flowers aren't dry properly, it will rot in the resin. So it's a process to drying flowers.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So it sounds a little technical. So yeah, they basically they should get them to you. So, because you can't be responsible for something that wasn't dried out right.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And how long would this process take from start to finish? Let's just say uh I got flowers for a birthday and I sent them off to you.
Once I get the flowers, I say from start to finish, it'll take about 35 days. Because working on the piece, like I have to do it in layers, and in between each layer, you have to allow a certain amount of time for the resin to cure, or
Hmm.
it could flash cure, which is too much resin, uh too deep in the mold, and then it gets hot, it starts bubbling, it can catch fire. So I have to make sure that I'm being safe so I'm not burning down anything over here because I live here. But
Right.
about 35 days, because it takes 30 days to dry the flowers out. And
Okay.
then shipping, depending on where you are, somewhere between 3 and 7 days, maybe.
Okay. So this could be
Let's just say 40 days.
you gotta pack your patience. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's gonna be a minute. But it's something that's gonna last a lifetime. So you cannot
Right.
rush something that's gonna last a lifetime. Shout out.
Now, something like coasters or something like this, um, I made this in just one pour. Trying to get it without a glare.
So
This is just
are
a
those
little
flowers?
jar. It is flowers in here.
Those are real flowers?
Yes, these are pressed dried flowers. I
Wow.
didn't dry these myself.
That's what I was gonna ask you can you drink out of resin? So let's say you
No.
got a resin cup. So you can't drink out of
Well, okay, so I don't have any of the. Oh wait, I do, but I would have to leave the camera. Can I leave the
uh,
camera for a second
what do you have? What are you getting?
to show a wine glass that I made?
Okay. Yeah. And when you come back, just move back a little bit from the camera because it's
Oh,
kind of close. When you come
okay,
back.
okay.
Okay. Man, shout out to this artist. He doing resin wine glasses and just looking at that where you could preserve those flowers. How many funerals have you been to and you had flowers that you tried to keep, and they rotted. Eventually, you had to get rid of them. So that would definitely be something that I think people would be interested in. But Veronica Estelle said, "Beautiful work." Thanks, Veronica. I think she's back. But you see, Veronica said, "It's beautiful work."
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah,
Okay, so whoa,
take your time.
sorry about that. Okay, so this I just went and got a wine glass and then I poured resin over it. Can you see the details in it?
I can see it. Yeah, that's nice.
So this you can drink out of, but if I made the cup all of resin, you can't.
Okay.
So like I make these bowls, something you could put like wrapped candies or your keys,
Hmm.
remotes or something like that. Sit maybe on your coffee table or some end table that you have.
Okay.
And then you asked about the piece that I'm the most proud of. I love my granny's garden piece, but this one, when I made this one, I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I worked upside down. So each layer I poured, like I couldn't tell if it was any bubbles under here or if everything was laying how I wanted to, if the petals were folded or anything like that. So this was supposed to be marbled, but it all mixed together. But look
Okay.
at that. It looked like almost like cloud like. Can you
Is
see the
is
detail in it?
I see it. That's nice. Is
It was
is that
supposed to be 5 different colors, but it all mixed together. But this one, like I absolutely love.
how heavy is that? It looks like it's heavy.
I haven't weighed it, but I know I poured about 40 ounces of resin.
That's a 40 ounce, y'all. 40 ounce of
Yeah.
resin. No, no, no,
But
but that is definitely nice. And what would you
thank you.
use? So that would just be more of just an art piece.
Yeah. I sit
Okay,
this on my TV stand,
okay. And how do you sit? You lay it flat, or is it laying on its side, or how?
just like this
Okay, yeah, yeah, that's
or
what I
like
thought.
this, either way.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And those are real flowers, y'all. That's dope, man.
Yes. I forget the name of these. Something Gerbera something. I don't know. But I thought they were pretty.
Yeah. Now let me like this is really like a sentimental gift. Like this is something that you when you just think about like how many times we lose thing even so what else can you put in resin other than flowers that you've put in resin, I guess.
I put candy and resin before. Um, I haven't tried any coffee beans. I dried out some citrus, like some limes, lemons, and oranges, but I haven't used that yet. I've seen people put toys, or some people make like when someone gives birth, they put like the baby's umbilical cord,
Wow.
the hospital bracelet, ultrasound picture, or a picture of the baby, and some random things like pacifier or stuff like that. But you could put pictures, you could put almost anything, so long as it's dry, it can go in resin.
Wow.
Coffee beans, popcorn
Okay.
kernels.
Okay. Yeah, I don't popcorn kernels and coffee beans. I really don't know.
I don't
Right.
know. Some of them be cute, like when they do the coffee beans. So imagine just like a square, right? So on the bottom is like a dark brown, and then in the middle is almost like tan, and then on the top is almost like cream, but it still got the coffee beans, and then they put like a gold sticker on it that say coffee time or something like that. And
Oh,
so it resembles like a cup of coffee, like as soon as you pour the cream in, and how it kind of like
yeah,
sinks to the bottom.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just creative, man. Just creative.
It's a
Um,
lot that you can do with resin.
so what advice would you give somebody that wants to go into resin or and if or any well, that wants to go into any creative avenue, but the main thing is just dealing with obstacles because that's one of the things that really shines about your story.
You're not gonna like everything that you make. Make it anyway. Somebody's gonna like it. I've made some things that I thought was so ugly that I wouldn't even take a picture of it. And my sister was like, "Let me see," and I would show her. She like, "See, that's why I can't trust your judgment because it's cute." And I'm like, "It's not." And she's like, "But I love it." I'm like, "You can have it." Like, so yeah, just because you don't like it, don't mean that other people don't like it. Make it. Make it anyway.
Do you have anything in stores or that let's say somebody wanted to go buy some of your stuff? Okay, okay. Are you potentially doing eventually going to do that, or are you going to do everything online?
Um, I thought about I'm actually drying some flowers right now because I want to make a couple of big pieces like this and go to some funeral homes and ask them if they could put it in their display, because a lot of people don't know about the floral preservation. So if they wanted to keep, their loved ones flowers forever, this is a way that they can do it. I just haven't got around, like, with my vision, some people work and things like that, and I
Mhm.
don't always have money for Uber, so it's sometimes difficult for me to get around. Um, but when I actually do make the pieces, I can like find someone to take me and do this. I don't know how selfish this sounds, but I just don't want them to get a cut because I put it in their establishment. I will. I just don't want to, like, I want, because I'm the only one that's making it. My kids don't help me, no friends, no family, nobody helps me make these. I do this all by hand,
Right,
myself.
right. Well, you
All
just
the
have
mixing, all of the drying, all of the colors, everything. I do it myself.
yeah, but you just would have to put their fee on top of it, and you still get your price. But if they're
Okay.
buying enough of them, it's probably advantageous for you to
Yeah.
just give them a cut. Because
Okay.
right now, what's your other outlets other than social media
Word of mouth.
and word of mouth? Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. And where do you see this business at in the next 5 to 10 years?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to think. I see myself in a studio with like I don't want to say a partition, but let's just say you walk into the studio and then you see like all of my work displayed. And then you got the counter, and then behind the counter is like the area where I work on all of the stuff. So I
Okay.
can see that for myself, like brick and mortar business,
Okay.
selling stuff.
All right. Yeah. That's when you sitting back there making it and people coming in, so you have to have somebody. You might have to hire one person
Yeah.
just so they can
I don't
do. Yeah.
mind hiring somebody to like do the front or whatever, but or even if somebody wanted to create things, because even if we sit down with the same colors and the same amount of resin, the same mold, we're gonna make something that's gonna look completely different.
Exactly. So what's your bigger vision? I guess as an artist, entrepreneur, woman of faith, what's your bigger vision? Are you? Is this for people with disabilities, or is this more of just a for-profit business that you're trying to, or both?
It's both.
Okay.
I want people with disabilities, or okay, let me start that over. I want people to understand that just because someone has a disability does not mean that they're unable to live a fulfilling life. And I want people with disabilities to step out and do something differently. Don't be scared just because you can't see good.
Yeah, yeah. Were you driving before this happened?
I did, and that's where I took my where I maintained my own power. Um, I decided, okay, my vision is getting worse. I'm going to stop driving, and I took my driver's license myself to the DMV, to the Secretary of State, and said I would like to turn this in and just get a state ID. And she's like, "No, oh, you could keep it until it expires next year." No, thank you. Y'all not about to come and tell me I can't drive. I told myself that. So I
Wow.
knew that it was getting to be a little bit dangerous.
Yeah.
So I kept my
And
own power.
what does that mean to you for your power? You said that a couple times. Why is that so important for you?
I worked so hard to become who I am. I didn't want anybody to take any pieces of that away from me.
Okay. Okay.
Not even the smallest.
So it sounds like you had a period where you were low with this
Yeah,
whole thing. And I can see growth. I can see that you had a whole new outlook on things.
I do.
Yeah. You're
Back in
reinventing.
2021, in between the time that I lost my vision and I got the diagnosis, I was hospitalized. I'm not gonna get too far off into that, but just know that the only way that I survived was God, because it was very bad. Like I almost did not come home that time. So after that, like all of the healing that I had to do, and still on top of learning who I am as a blind woman, I looked at that as my second chance at life. And so I wanted to do things differently. So I pray more. I'm in my devotionals in the mornings. I'm reading the Bible at night. I mean, I'm in it. So yeah, I have to do right by my second chance. It otherwise it would be no point of him giving me one. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Now you were living out of state at one point, right?
Yes. I
Okay.
lived in Ohio for 9 years and in Georgia for a little while before I came back here.
Okay. And but all this happened here.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
I got back here in 2017. This all
Oh,
happened in 2021.
okay, okay. Well, most definitely. How can people reach you? How can people get the product? Where do people go?
Um, you can visit my page on TikTok. Excuse me, it's at lady with two Y's underscore Gem GEM. I have videos of things that I make there. You can DM me there if you are interested in ordering something. Um, you could also go to my Facebook page, which is Arnita Murphy. Um, I don't really do much on Instagram. I don't know. Not really.
Yeah. We were talking about that before we came on. It feels like you get support from certain content gets different support on different. It's weird.
Look,
It's
I
weird.
go through my memories on Facebook every night, right? And it starts from on this day all the way back to basically when you started your page. I have never really been getting any likes or hearts or shares or anything. No support on Facebook. Very few, but not really.
Even from family.
Mhm.
Let me see. I want to see let me see. Is this correct?
Yes.
Okay. So you can see that.
I had to.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
Because
good.
from here it's blurry, even with my glasses on.
Okay, well that's at lady underscore Jim.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you can, and this is your TikTok.
TikTok. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this is on TikTok. And then if someone wants to, you said your Facebook is Arnita. Well, so I guess that would be at Facebook. I don't know how to tag these things. Let me see. Uh is it your full name or is it just
My first and last name, yeah.
oh okay. So it's the first and last. All right, hold on one second. All right. And would that be one word?
It's a space in there. Just
Oh,
like how I would write it, like if I was
yeah.
just yeah. Yep.
Okay. So you got Lady Jim. If you guys are interested in any of her work, I think one of my favorites, now that I see this, is you call it with the flowers, what is it called?
Floral preservation.
Floral preservation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I really like that. That's
Let me
one of
show you a couple of other things too, because I got some things here that I set aside. This is just a jar with a
wow.
lid. This is cute. When I got this mold, a lot of people was like, I want one. So my mama, all my sisters, um, my friend, and a cousin, I made them one. And then I got this clock. I don't have the hands on it because it kept bending when I was putting it in my tote. But this is a very functional clock. So I just will have to attach the hands here. Like,
Hold on.
can you see the numbers?
I see the numbers.
Yeah.
Hang on, turn that to the back side. Okay. Okay. So you're gonna put you just put the hands on it.
Yeah.
And they already have like a uh what do you call it? Where you right. It's like
Like the mechanism where you put the battery in and make the hands turn.
yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. That's nice. That's nice. I like it.
Thank you.
Like
Thank you.
what would something like that cost?
The clocks are 35, I think. I have to look at my price
Let
list.
me ask you
I can't
something. Let
remember
me
all
ask
the
you
price
something.
lists.
Because I don't want to make your prices high, but I want to ask you this. How long does something like that take?
The clock took um I don't know, I can't really give it a time because like when I sit down to pour it, I have about 45 minutes to do like whatever designs and then I gotta let it cure and then I draw lines or add more color and things like that. So this clock took I mean, because I did it over the course of like 2 nights, but I don't know how much time I actually spent on it. So let's just say two
Yeah.
days.
Okay. 2 days for $35.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we gotta get them prices because if you're spending 2 days on something of
It
your
should be
life,
more than $35, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And that's just okay. I'm family, y'all. Just so if y'all didn't know, this is my cousin. So this is probably something I should have talked about off camera because y'all like, why would you raise the prices? Well, I mean, we want to be fair because if she is doing this and using her time, and now you get a lot of influx of calls, now eventually you won't have enough time because you're using it all up and not, you know what I mean? You're not getting enough for it. So now it's just defeating the purpose.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're spending 2 days on something, you got to get a little bit more money than that. But we'll talk about that.
Okay.
You say you new to this, the business part. It's always like that too, where the artist has to learn the business side of it too in order for it to be profitable,
Hmm.
because you know, because at this pace, 2 days at 35, I know you probably only use about 45 minutes to an hour each day,
Something like
or
that, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it would be about an hour. So at this point, you getting less than $10 an hour. You getting
Mm.
minimum wage for making this. You see what I'm saying? But we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Listen, I definitely appreciate you coming on. This has definitely been inspiring. Let me see if there were any questions or anything.
I thank you for having me on too.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Is there anything that you want to tell people that you want to leave the people with?
Pray.
Most definitely pray.
Pray.
We didn't talk much about your faith,
Yeah.
but you say it's been heightened since you went through what you went through.
Like I've always believed in God. I've always believed in the Holy Trinity. But there was a point in my life where I was not praying. I was not reading the Bible. I just was doing. I was living in the flesh. Let's just say
Living in
I
the
was
flesh.
living in the flesh, and it caught up to me heavy. And just the fact that God saved me from that, because, like I said, it was bad. It was. I almost did not make it out that hospital room. So I have to appreciate it now. I have a new outlook on life.
Are you saying this was something domestic?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we won't get into that, but basically you got a second chance and you are not wasting it.
At
You
all.
are creating and living in your purpose. And that's one thing that this show is all about. You know how, like you say, you can go 50 years without having that moment that you had. You know what I'm saying? And the sooner you get on purpose, the better. You know what I'm saying? But it's sometimes I remember asking God for purpose, and it took a while, like years before I got an answer. I don't know if that was because of me or it was because he had something else I needed to do before he gave it to me.
Right.
But it's a blessing when you know your purpose. You wake up without an alarm clock. You know, you pay attention to the people around you.
Yeah.
Everything is on purpose. Because I say all the time, purpose, when you find out your purpose, that's when the clock starts. Everything else is just fluff. You know,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, when you think about it, because it just passes. But
Mhm.
now when you wake up with purpose, now you helping other people. It's not all about you. You're not the center of your universe no more. You looking at helping people. And that's what we're here for. One of the main
Yeah.
things that we're here for. But I definitely am glad that you showed up this morning or this afternoon. Like you say, pray.
Yes.
Pray.
Absolutely.
Well, most definitely. Thank you for showing up, y'all. Shout out
Thank
to
you for
our
having me.
family for coming on. It was definitely a good show. We got to have Sis back on because we had that echo problem. I hope we don't have it. Let me see. Didn't nobody say anything. You know, they let us do that whole show
Yeah.
and nobody said anything. So y'all,
Next time, try that thing with the noise cancellation on her
yeah,
end like you did on mine. Yeah.
yeah. Let me see something real quick. Yeah. Let me see something. No echo. No echo. Yeah. Y'all don't understand what we went through before we got on this live.
It was rough.
It was rough. It was rough. But guess what? We're here. I'm new to this. And I want to showcase people that are living in their purpose. And shout out to Arnita for coming on, y'all. Y'all
Thank
go
you.
follow her. Y'all make sure that y'all support that resin art. It's very creative. I can't say I know anybody with that flower. You got to say that again for me.
Floral preservation.
Floral preservation. I love it. I love it.
And I need people to understand that support is not just buying something. Support is sharing. Support is telling people. Support is liking and commenting and things like that.
And
So it,
engaging. Yeah.
it don't take nothing to hit a double tap or, anything like that.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna make sure that I share,
Thank
um,
you.
and I'll let you know this will be live for now. But when the actual episode drops after it's edited and whatever, I'll let you know so you can share that too. Thanks for
Thank
coming on the
you.
show, cuz.
Thank
Stay
you.
backstage for me for a minute.
Okay.
Well, yeah, there you have it, y'all. I appreciate y'all for coming on, checking out Arnita and her resin art. Y'all go support her. Y'all keep supporting the show. Make sure that y'all go and subscribe and like and share. I appreciate the love. Y'all go out, have a great Tuesday. Be blessed. And what's the number one thing? Keep disrupting, y'all. Keep disrupting. Peace.